CIA, MI6, Mossad, KGB, these legendary spy agencies pale in comparison to a more powerful one that existed in England. But one fateful day, a mafia launched a missile attack on the homes of all its agents, completely destroying the agency. Only 2 survived. What these 2 did to take their revenge is the tale we're about to witness. The story begins with a glimpse of the famous Kingsman agency headquarters in London, where Eggsy is seen walking out. After Valentine shot Harry dead in the last episode, Eggsy has taken over Harry's role as a Kingsman agent. Everything was running smoothly, until suddenly, Charlie reappears. Charlie had applied to become a Kingsman agent in the previous episode, but after failing to make the cut, he joined another terror group. Eggsy believed Charlie had died in the head blast incident, but today, Charlie returned with a sinister plan to kidnap Eggsy. But Eggsy isn't one to surrender so easily. Inside the car, he engages in a fierce fight with Charlie. Meanwhile, Charlie's accomplices arrive in other vehicles to capture Eggsy. During the chaos, Eggsy's driver is killed, causing the car to lose control and crash. Amidst the wreckage, Charlie's robotic arm gets ripped off and remains inside the car. Eggsy quickly contacts Merlin, who helps him find a safe escape route. Later, Eggsy leads the pursuing terrorists to an empty field and annihilates all their vehicles with a missile strike. However, by then, the police had started chasing Eggsy. Following Merlin's guidance, he drives the car into a river, navigates through a secret tunnel, and returns to the Kingsman headquarters. Afterward, Eggsy heads home, where his girlfriend, Princess Tilda, is waiting for him. Following the last episode where he rescued her, she has now become his girlfriend. Meanwhile, someone remotely activates Charlie's robotic arm, still inside Eggsy's car, and extracts all the confidential data about the Kingsman agents. The scene then shifts to Poppy, a billionaire businesswoman who runs a global drug empire. Despite her massive operations, Poppy feels unrecognized by the world and is forced to live hidden in a fortress deep within the jungle. This woman is a terrifying psychopath. To prove loyalty, she orders a new recruit to kill one of her old employees. She makes him grind the old employee alive and then removes the new recruit's fingerprints, branding his chest with a golden circle as a mark of loyalty. Back at the Kingsman headquarters, a meeting is held where Merlin reveals that Charlie, who attacked Eggsy, was last seen at Valentine's party. Due to the shock Eggsy gave him, the chip in Charlie's neck malfunctioned. While everyone else's heads exploded during the head blast, Charlie survived, though he lost an arm. Moreover, all the attackers who ambushed Eggsy had a golden circle branded on their chests, indicating they were part of a large underworld gang. The next day, Eggsy travels to Sweden to meet his girlfriend's parents. During dinner, Princess Tilda's parents bombard Eggsy with questions. Although Eggsy doesn't know the answers, his advanced glasses allow Roxy, from London, to guide him with all the right answers. With her help, Eggsy easily wins over Tilda's parents. Meanwhile, back at Eggsy's house, one of his friends visits while he's away. And then, suddenly, one after another, missiles rained down on the homes of every Kingsman agent across the country. In an instant, explosions obliterated everything. Eggsy, Roxy, and all the agents stationed at the Kingsman headquarters. This devastating attack was orchestrated by Poppy, who had used Charlie's robotic arm to locate all the agents. Since Charlie no longer had an arm, Poppy rewarded him with a new and advanced robotic arm as a token of gratitude. Meanwhile, Eggsy was left in shock as he stood amidst the ruins of his home and office. Overcome with grief, he broke down in tears, mourning the loss of his friend Jack and his colleague Roxy. At that moment, Merlin appeared. Eggsy initially suspected that Merlin might have betrayed them by siding with the terrorists, but Merlin explained that he was not at fault. He revealed that all of this had happened because of Eggsy. More specifically, because of Charlie's robotic arm, which had been left in Eggsy's car a few days earlier. Through that arm, the terrorists had tracked their locations. Just like Eggsy, Merlin had also survived only because he was outside the office during the attack. Merlin referred to the situation as doomsday, a term used in Kingsman for such catastrophic events. He explained that in such situations, they were required to open a secret locker, which supposedly held the solution to all their problems. Together, they traveled to a hidden location to open the locker. When they unlocked it, they found only a bottle of whiskey from the Statesmen brand. Unsure of what to do, they sat there mourning the loss of their colleagues while drinking the whiskey. As the two got drunk, Eggsy noticed an address written on the bottom of the bottle. An address in America. With no other options, they decided to head to America the next day, hoping for help. Upon reaching the address, they discovered that it was actually the Statesmen factory. Sneaking into the facility, they were soon caught by a man named Tequila. Although Eggsy and Merlin tried to fight him, Tequila quickly overpowered them and knocked them unconscious. When they regained consciousness, they found themselves tied up. Tequila kept interrogating them, repeatedly asking, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" They kept replying, "We're tailors from Kingsman Tailors." But Tequila didn't believe them. After all, no ordinary tailors would carry high-tech gadgets like their watches and glasses. Tequila then asked, "You didn't come looking for the butterfly professor, did you?" Before they could respond, he brought someone forward. To their utter shock, it was Harry, alive. Seeing Harry, Eggsy and Merlin were dumbfounded. They cried out his name, but Harry didn't recognize them. At that moment, a woman named Ginger intervened, stopping Tequila. She said, "Wait, stop, they're our allies. I opened our doomsday locker and there I found a Kingsman umbrella." Ginger explained that, like Kingsman, Statesmen was a secret intelligence agency in America. In times of great peril, the two agencies were designed to assist each other. Afterward, Eggsy asked, "How did you find Harry?" Ginger replied, "A few years ago, we detected some unusual radiation inside a church in London. When Tequila and I arrived, we found many people dead. But to our surprise, Harry was still alive. Using alpha gel technology, we managed to save him. However, the bullet that passed through his eye caused him to lose one eye and all of his memories." With this newfound information, Eggsy and Merlin joined the Statesmen at their office. There, they discovered that the attack on Kingsman was carried out by a dangerous drug mafia. To find the culprit, they needed to attend a rock concert where Charlie's ex-girlfriend was expected to appear. They suspected she still had connections with Charlie. Their mission was clear: seduce the girl and gather information about Charlie. The mission was initially assigned to Tequila, but the Statesman leader noticed blue marks appearing on Tequila's body, indicating a potential illness. Tequila was sent for medical treatment, and Eggsy was introduced to Whiskey, their senior agent based in New York. Now, Eggsy had to complete this mission alongside Whiskey. The next day, Eggsy said goodbye to his girlfriend, Princess, and set off with Whiskey to attend the rock party. As planned, they reached the party and met a girl named Clara. Whiskey initially tried to flirt with Clara, but she completely ignored him. However, Eggsy easily charmed her and secretly planted a small tracker on her body, allowing the agency to monitor her conversations and location. Meanwhile, Agent Ginger investigated Tequila's condition and discovered that his strange illness was caused by taking drugs. However, the team couldn't understand why the drug dealers would intentionally harm their own customers. By then, Eggsy had returned and was trying hard to help Harry regain his memories. No matter what he did, Harry's memory wouldn't come back. At the same time, Eggsy's busy schedule left him with no time for Princess, who, feeling heartbroken, started using drugs. One day while sitting in a club, Eggsy came up with an idea. He bought a puppy and brought it to Harry. In front of him, Eggsy pretended he was about to kill the puppy. Seeing this, Harry became desperate to save the little dog, and at that moment, his Kingsman training came flooding back to him. Slowly but surely, Harry began to regain all his memories. Merlin quickly arrived and briefed Harry on the current danger. As a result, Harry joined the mission. Now Harry, Eggsy, Merlin, and Whiskey, the four agents, sat together in a club, discussing their next move. Suddenly, a group of thugs appeared and started causing trouble for no apparent reason. Harry, determined to handle it alone, went to fight them, but found himself outmatched after so many years away from action. Watching this, Whiskey leaped into the fight, and we saw just how skilled he truly was. In mere moments, Whiskey defeated all the thugs, restoring order. That very night, Poppy hacked into a TV channel and delivered a chilling broadcast to the entire world. She said, "To all the presidents around the globe, listen carefully. A few weeks ago, I laced all my company's drug products with a special virus. In the first stage, blue spots will appear on the user's skin. In the second stage, they'll start dancing uncontrollably like madmen. In the third stage, their muscles will stop working, leaving them frozen like statues. If untreated within this time, their eyes and brains will explode, killing them. I already have the cure for this disease. If you legalize all drugs worldwide, treating them like cigarettes or alcohol, I will release the cure. But if you don't, millions of people will die. With this incident, chaos erupted across the entire world. Even Ginger decided to freeze Agent Tequila to save his life. By then, those infected with the virus had entered the second stage. They started dancing uncontrollably. All eyes were now on the President of the United States. The President devised a plan. He decided to fake agreeing to Poppy's terms while secretly refusing to legalize drugs. Instead, he would wait for all the infected drug addicts to die. Then he would address the public, claiming that even after agreeing to Poppy's terms, she hadn't delivered the cure. This way, the blame for millions of deaths would fall squarely on Poppy, eradicating both drugs and drug addicts forever. In his vision, this would make the country cleaner and better. However, the vice president argued that this plan was wrong. Many legitimate medications use drugs as ingredients, and not all the infected people deserved to die. But the president refused to listen. Meanwhile, the Statesmen agents overheard the president's entire plan. Realizing that the situation demanded immediate action, they took matters into their own hands. Soon, they intercepted a phone call between Clara and Charlie, where Clara begged Charlie for help after being infected with the virus. Charlie instructed her to go to a lab in Italy to get the cure. Hearing this, the Statesmen agents prepared for a mission in Italy. By the time Charlie cured Clara at the lab, Harry, Eggsy, and Whiskey had tracked her to the location. They infiltrated the lab, and Eggsy managed to steal a vial of the cure. Just as he was about to escape, Charlie spotted him. Charlie immediately launched a pursuit, but Eggsy and Whiskey had already boarded a cable car. Charlie, however, activated the cable car's self-destruct mode, causing it to spin wildly before the cable snapped and it came crashing down. Surviving this harrowing accident, Eggsy and Whiskey managed to escape into a hidden room. While inspecting the cure, they were ambushed by hundreds of guards. In an attempt to save Eggsy, Whiskey accidentally destroyed the vial of the cure. He then stepped out alone to fight the guards. Demonstrating incredible skill, Whiskey single-handedly took down all the guards. But as more reinforcements arrived, Whiskey ran out of ammunition and had to retreat back to the room. By then, Harry began to suspect that Whiskey had intentionally destroyed the cure and might be working with the mafia. Acting on this suspicion, Harry shot and killed Whiskey. Eggsy, shocked and horrified, screamed at Harry. Harry then used advanced weaponry to eliminate the remaining guards. Eggsy, unwilling to lose Whiskey, used alpha gel to revive him and called Ginger, explaining that Whiskey was injured in the enemy's attack. Eggsy didn't want Harry to face any consequences for his actions. Meanwhile, Merlin and Ginger discovered that Charlie had sent an encrypted email to a government official in Singapore. By hacking the code, they tracked the location to Cambodia. To investigate further, they dispatched a spy drone to the location. In the meantime, the vice president had also fallen victim to the virus. He had been taking a medication to stay awake and assist the president, but that led to his infection. Despite all this, the president remained unwavering in his decision. He had placed the vice president, along with millions of infected people, inside cages in a stadium, locking them up. Back at the office, while talking to Princess over a video call, Eggsy noticed that she too had been infected with the virus. Meanwhile, the president continued his charade of negotiating with Poppy, pretending to agree to her demands. Harry and Eggsy sat together, planning their next move. Through the drone, they had located Poppy's hideout in Cambodia, where she was preparing to deliver the antidote to the Singaporean official. Meanwhile, Whiskey regained consciousness and angrily told Ginger, "What did you do to Harry? He shot me. His mind is still not right. Where is Harry now?" Ginger replied, "Harry, Eggsy, and Merlin have left for Cambodia to eliminate Poppy." Hearing this, Whiskey rushed out to assist Eggsy. Eggsy and Merlin, aboard a private plane, equipped themselves with advanced weapons and donned bulletproof suits before arriving in Cambodia. Unfortunately, Eggsy accidentally stepped on a landmine. Merlin calmed him and used a spray to temporarily freeze the mine. Once Eggsy moved away, he realized that Merlin had stepped on the mine himself. Merlin had lied to save Eggsy. The spray could only freeze the mine for 3 seconds. As the spray was running out, Merlin said his goodbyes. Respecting his sacrifice, Eggsy and Harry moved away, leaving Merlin behind. Standing on the mine, Merlin began singing loudly, attracting the guards toward him. As the guards closed in, the mine exploded, killing Merlin along with 4 or 5 guards. This triggered a fierce battle between the guards and Eggsy and Harry. Despite being outnumbered, Eggsy and Harry, armed with high-tech weapons, eliminated all the guards and entered Poppy's room. Poppy handed her secret laptop to Charlie and ordered him to escape. Eggsy chased after Charlie, while Harry confronted Poppy and her robotic attack dog. Harry struggled to defeat the high-tech dog. In a desperate move, he lured it to a vat of molten gold. Taking his chance, he poured the molten gold onto the dog, destroying it. Meanwhile, Eggsy battled Charlie, who used his advanced robotic arm to mercilessly beat him. But Eggsy managed to hack Charlie's arm using his watch, causing Charlie to attack himself. In frustration, Charlie detached his arm and resumed the fight one-handed. To prove his own strength, Eggsy also fought Charlie with one hand. Finally, Eggsy broke Charlie's neck and retrieved the laptop. Eggsy and Harry then confronted Poppy and demanded the password to distribute the antidote worldwide. When Poppy refused, they injected her with her own drug, which had been modified to accelerate the virus by 100 times. Overwhelmed, Poppy revealed the password but died moments later. Before they could use the password, Whiskey arrived and held both Eggsy and Harry at gunpoint. At first, they suspected Whiskey was working for Poppy, but he explained, "I don't work for anyone. 2 years ago, my wife was killed by a group of drug-addicted thugs while returning from shopping. Since then, I've hated all drug addicts. I want them all dead." But Harry and Eggsy couldn't let millions die for one man's revenge. They teamed up and fought Whiskey. Despite his skills, Whiskey couldn't handle 2 seasoned agents. In the end, they defeated him, leaving him alive but incapacitated. They used the password to distribute the antidote worldwide, saving countless lives. Eggsy managed to save Princess once again. Meanwhile, the vice president, after recovering, held a press conference and exposed the president's deceit. The president was removed from office and sent to prison. Agent Tequila was cured with the antidote, and the Statesmen agency apologized for Whiskey's betrayal. They pledged to work closely with Kingsman from then on. And with this, today's story comes to an end.